Thursday.
And we are live. Good morning, crypto warriors, and welcome back to the Gym and the Crypto, episode 582. Today is Thursday, July 23rd, and I'm King.
And I'm Bitcoin Zay, and we're here to bridge the gap between cryptocurrency and the community Monday through Friday at 10-ish.
10-ish. And today's top story. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry if I blew out your eardrums right there. Today's top story. Banks in the United States can now offer crypto custody services, regulator says. The fix is in. The fix is in. Hey, oh man, if you can listen, tap them USA flags on your gang, baby. We in here, okay?
Oh yeah.
Shapeshift launches self-custody trading app for Android and iOS users. Wingo vs. Gemini to offer custody of .crypto blockchain domains. And NBA star sells just 10% of tokenized contract, but hey, still props because he sold more than others. But before we get to all these great stories, what's going on with these prices?
Oh yeah, so for those of you who saw the news yesterday, a lot of green across the board. In fact, I don't think there are pretty much any red of the top coins. Bitcoin at $9,592 is up 2.6%. Ethereum at $278 was the big winner, up 14%. Ripple finally hit 20 cents. Oh yeah,
Rally.
up 5.4%. Chainlink at $8, up 8%. Bitcoin Cash at $241 is up 3.9%. Let's see, Litecoin at $45 is up 4%. And last but not least, EOS at $268 is up 3% as well. So a lot of green across the board, a lot of excitement. I do want to remind people that earlier this month we had similar type green day and then kept going sideways. So don't get too excited because I know some people are starting to FOMO into coins like Link and Ethereum.
Yeah.
But calm down, people. But yes, if people think this is the start of the new bull run, they're going to buy as much as possible. But there are also people who think, yes, this is sort of a quick exit pump. And on the micro scale, it might go back down to 7,000. Macro scale, still headed past the all-time highs. So
I think as far as you said on the 7,000 drop, we can see that in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
If that stimulus check doesn't get approved or it doesn't come in a timely fashion, you got to remember people don't have a month of savings still. So in the next 2 to 4 weeks, we can see people start pulling money from everywhere in the market and see that same crash. And if that happens, I am getting in there. But it's funny, and I do want to mention this. You just talked about the price don't FOMO until buy. A perfect example, as we were loading up this morning, getting started, I mean, literally around, this is a tennis show, so about 10:03, I'm asking Bitcoin Zay, we're looking at the prices, we're looking at the news stories, and I see the 9,600. I'm like, what do you think? I was like, we about to go up from here? Or, he's like, nah. He's like, this is already the news, right? Literally as we got to our last story, which we'll go back over, of course, where NBA star sells just 10% tokenized contract. As I load up this last story, you can see here the price in the top left corner is 95.32. This is Cointelegraph and CoinDesk. They have similar price points on it, but it dropped 100 that quick as we were loading up. So again, as I said, don't FOMO into a buy because that may not be the price here in the next 3 or 4 hours. You never know.
Never know.
Quick shout outs going on Tiffany from New York, Lucky Lloyd, Harold George, Jacqueline Saba, good afternoon, Madam Crypto, Ariel Walker, Dan the Man.
What's up?
Harold George. Lucky Lloyd said my Ripple will finally rise above 20 cents. Thanks.
Finally.
Thanks to this law. Exactly. Rashid L. Peace to you. Yes, Dan the Man said the crypto market moving in the opposite direction. The stock market, they've been pretty tied together. Yep, as of late. But yeah, top story. As I put WTF, banks in the United States can now offer crypto custody services, regulator says.
What the hell, man?
Listen, as we said many, many, many times over, if you literally just look at the technology, if you read the white paper, 1 + 1 = 2. The war has been won.
We already won.
We've already won. These are the battles in between. He's got to wait it out, and they're just stalling and stalling. But I mean, does it get any more corrupt than this?
Oh my God!
This is insider trading.
Yeah,
this is insider trading,
and it's in my opinion a slow form of theft.
Right?
Because let's get to the story. Senior Deputy Comptroller Jonathan Gould wrote that any national bank can hold onto the unique cryptographic keys for a cryptocurrency wallet. clearing the way for national banks to hold digital assets for their clients. Now, we've said, and many people in the space have said, not your keys, not your coin. In this case, it really is not your coin. With an exchange or a crypto exchange, at least they deal in crypto all the time. They don't really care. And if you think back into the recession of the 20s, the banks required everybody to turn in their gold. Does it sound similar?
Yeah, cash for gold. You're telling me
all of a sudden now they're like, why don't you
it was right before the crash, too.
Right before the crash. Man. And why don't all these people with crypto put it into our bank as well? Because they don't have any cash right now. They have a national coin shortage, and most banks are insolvent. They just haven't said or put it in the news as far as different branches. So this came right on time all of a sudden for them to actually take your keys or use your keys and regulate it. And then, of course, this is going to look good to mainstream investors, but they'll learn very soon whenever they try to access, and they're like, oh well, you can't access your crypto for 3 days, right, or you can't send that much. You'll be like, well then what? This was the point of crypto, was to get away from you all. But again, it's business. That's what they're gonna do. And
like PFC Wells Track, he mentioned, not to mention how long will it be before they start saying they can loan, trade, and leverage your crypto. Just saying. And the crazy thing is, and this is so disheartening and unfortunate about this, it's going to work.
Yeah.
People are going to use it. This is what they feared about when it came to Facebook's Libra coin, because they're like, hey, if you just know math numbers, return of interest, or your return on interest and everything, they're going to get at least 3%. And with their marketing, they may get up to 7 to 8% of people signing on for Facebook. So it's the same. When you think about banks, they're not looking for, I mean, of course they want everybody to do it, but they know everyone's going to do it. But they're thinking, hey, out of all of our customers in the U.S., let's say 300 million at least. Let's say 30 million are unbanked. Across the world, how many? But let's just say out of 300 million, we're going to go for 7 to 8% of these people to get these crypto accounts. That's going to happen. Yeah. That will happen because there are still so many people that only listen to the system, that only listen to the establishment, and their banker, their financial advisor, because you got to remember, this is all the same thing. The financial advisor is going to go to their little accounting school, of course, the school is going to be working with the government to get their licensings and accreditation for these things for these chartered banks now. Like, it's going to be this whole game. At the end of the day, you're going to have your accountant telling investors, saying, hey, you should store your crypto here, because if you do it on your own, you can lose it and you have no recourse. If you give it to somebody else, this and that, but if you do it with the bank, it's FDIC insured up to 10% of your crypto with this cash, which we're not even counting no more, which is the reason why you have crypto.
Exactly.
It's going to be this whole cluster. And the crazy thing about it is the genesis of this is that banks did not and still do not want crypto. Yeah. I mean, how many times have you been called into the bank or had that phone call or that tap on the shoulder about you buying crypto, right?
Oh, yeah. Plenty of times. And one thing I am not surprised about is that the OCC, the office, is headed up by Brian Brooks, a former Coinbase executive who joined the regulator earlier this year.
Okay. This doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, circling right back to what we said before.
We talked about that.
Get your coins off of Coinbase. They are the feds. They are a crypto bank. This is not cryptocurrency. This is just simply a digital version of what we already have. JP Morgan Chase was rumored to be looking at buying Gemini or Coinbase.
Who said all this stuff many times before, folks?
Yeah, and I guarantee you, I mean, we got to dig through all of our old videos. I guarantee you, I think we brought that up at least 2 years ago.
We brought it up maybe many times.
Yeah, at least 2 or 3 years ago.
The Coinbase IPO has been impending on us. Chase buying them makes perfect sense. Chase buying Gemini makes more sense to me, to be honest. Because of the small team. It's a smaller team there. We've talked about how the Wall Street execs go back and forth between government positions, and now you have Coinbase execs doing the same thing.
And forth, yeah.
And I saw somebody in the comments already mentioned that as well. So who said that? Yeah, Track was saying, who did that, who really is going to help? Can we say Coinbase? So again, it's crazy to see this. And of course, this is all good for mass adoption. So that's the good thing. It is good for mass adoption. Again, the unfortunate part is that these are the same people. Again, as I just said, I'm sure Bitcoin Zay's had this done. I've literally been called into the bank. I've been called on the phone. I mean, I've been my private, what is it called? My privacy has been invaded by banks, all because I've used it to buy Bitcoin with. So it's just very interesting to see them now turn around and say, well, we're actually going to store it for you now, matter of fact.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So.
And again, like we said, the reason we do what we do is because people listen to what the media says to them, They are simply sheep who just follow along with it. And then what we tell people is do the opposite, because they go in public, they tell you we don't like it, while simultaneously working on a custodial account for their clients, which they just now introduced. But you think they just started working on this? You think they just came up with this? Been working on it for years.
Right. Exactly. They didn't just come up with this two weeks ago. Like, hell, we're going to go this direction with banks.
They've been talking about this for years, people.
And the crazy thing this guy's a former Coinbase exec who joined the regulator this year. Like, the government just started paying attention to Bitcoin in 2017, right? So, and how old is Coinbase? 5 or 6 years old? Maybe 8 years?
Yeah, I think 7 years.
So 7 years old. I'm just trying to figure out this timeline of when he went from Coinbase exec to regulator. You get what I'm saying? I mean, I get he was a regulator, but how did this relationship become established where it's like, okay, one of the top cryptocurrency exchanges and businesses on the planet all of a sudden is a regulator now? Yeah. There's no conflict of interest there. Come on now. This is crazy.
Yeah, get your stuff off.
This is out of control. Man. But hey, this is charting for normal course when it comes to crypto. We know this world is very corrupt. It's crazy. It's the Wild West. So just another story. But hey, this is a good thing. Mass adoption is on its way. Banks are now offering crypto custody services, and I can't wait to see the commercials. When and listen, as much as I sell this, people, don't forget how I also pull in some of this bread. So don't be surprised if you see me on Bank of America commercial talking about some. I want to store your Bitcoin. Come on down to Bank of America, and we have it. So don't be surprised. But I'm just saying these are my true thoughts.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Shapeshift launches self-custody trading app for Android and iOS users. What's going on with this new Shapeshift app?
Oh, yeah. So Shapeshift has launched their new mobile app in over 120 countries, giving users full control of their private keys. This is how crypto works. You give them control. Even if you are a third party, you give the control over to the user. You don't store their private keys, so you don't have to have that custodial insurance. And you basically allow people to use it with simply an email address and a password. Very simple. They currently support Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Digibyte, TrueUSD, and ERC20 tokens. But they have increased that number to over 120 digital assets. Oh, I'm sorry. They have allowed 120 countries to access these assets. And the new app gives you the power to trade with competitive rates and enjoy self-custody. So this is how crypto should work. If you are a third-party company, you should always have the option for users to control their own keys, because if not, they don't actually own the cryptocurrency. So shout out to them. They said that this is after 6 years of development. So again, if you think these companies that take 5 or 6 years to get it going, and then you see news from like banks like, oh yeah, now we offer this service, that means they've been working on stuff.
How many years have you been
4 or 5 years at least. So this is good for them. I'm sure regulations may have gotten in the way a little bit. Of course, doing it in 120 countries, you're going to have some pushback. But good to see from Shapeshift. They are pretty simple, easy to use. Just that the fees are a little high, but at the same time, as far as the service, pretty good to use. So shout out to Shapeshift.
Actually, and where the regulation is going, it makes sense, because thinking of our old videos, you said a couple years ago. I mean, in 2017, when the prices were going crazy, of course, the bear market of 2018 happened. One of the things we were saying toward the end of 2017, I remember, it was like, we were calling for regulation. We were like, the regulators are going to come after Martin Luther King Day, and we were like, we're about to see 2 to 3 years is when we're going to see what the regulators come up with. And now we're actually seeing.
Now we're there.
2018, they started coming up with everything, and here it is, 2020. They're rolling it out in the middle of a pandemic. And that's how you know they haven't been working. Exactly. They couldn't work. What, they've been having Zoom meetings about how they're going to let banks charter crypto custody? No. This was discussed last November already. This was
2 years ago.
Yeah, this was already in the books.
PayPal doing it. Come on, man.
Here's my question about this Shapeshift app. What makes this different than crypto wallets where you have your private keys and you can do cross-atomic swaps? You can do in-app trading that way. So what makes this different?
Nothing much. It's just more popular.
Okay.
I mean, it's a bunch of, pretty much every wallet has the same functionality.
Right. That's okay. So that's what I want to make sure.
It's just more popular. And if it's able to be spread in more countries, then more people can use it. But it's not any different than doing it on BRD, doing it on Edge Wallet.
Okay.
I mean, they all have pretty much the same functionality.
Yeah. What I do like about Shapeshift, I mean, or maybe this is kind of, maybe this is part of the article. I thought there was a Shapeshift saying it, but they say it's not perfect. But that's something I'm sure Shapeshift knows as well. This is the cool thing about the app. They're, as it says here, they're growing fast. They're making a lot of things happen as well, but they're responsible on their Twitter. They know everything they do isn't picture perfect, but they're here listening to people out there. So I think that's pretty cool when it comes to apps because of how quick they can make changes to it. Whereas, like we said, we're seeing banks. It literally, if banks really wanted to make money and they cared about you and they cared about cryptocurrency, they would have offered crypto custodial services in 2017 when crypto was booming. Right. And you remember at that time is when they were trying to stop ads. They were Jamie the Dino Diamond. Crypto is fraud. Bitcoin is fraud. So it's just one of those things to think about.
Because like I said, it's same old. First they laugh at you, then they fight you, then you win. Because at this point, we won. Not to say that it's over and Bitcoin has seen its final destination, but when banks have laid down to the point where they're like, all right, well, we'll offer custodial. Think about that. Like, we were talking about this for years now.
They did not want to do this.
They did not want to do this. And today's the day, man. Man, this is a big day in Bitcoin history.
It is. It really is. I mean, we can't overstate that enough. Like, this is literally, I'm trying to think, like, the big rivalry. This is Conor McGregor telling Khabib it's only business. Yeah. It wasn't personal. It was just business, bro. Like, no, this is personal now. Like, It's gotten personal. And I say that because if it was like, the banks just being in business and stopping the growth and innovation of crypto has caused other businesses to go out of business, has caused other people to suffer. I mean, we talk about New York. You're about to allow New York banks to offer crypto custody when you weren't even allowing any crypto businesses in New York. Like, you couldn't be a crypto business in New York without going to prison next to murderers and rapists. Now you're allowing banks to offer the same services that small business owners have been trying to offer literally the last decade. So, it's crazy to see it. But hey, again, mass adoption. We didn't say it would be a pretty path or it would be easy. But it's happening, and this is what it looks like when it happens.
Oh, yeah.
PFC Wells said the JP Morgan / Circle buyout was the first test buy. You're right.
We said that at the time. We were like, now they're buying exchanges. We'll see. They're just going to keep. They slowly do it because banks have the money to slowly move because
it's your money.
They're using your money, of course. So they slowly move into the market, and here we are.
What's going on? Malik Howard says it's been a long time since he caught us live. What's going on?
Oh, yeah.
Malik Howard said they offer derivatives like they did gold. I mean, of course, that's the thing. As soon as they get the crypto in custody, give it a little. They're gonna move fast on this one, people, because you remember the economy's already bad. After I say about 8 months, 12 months. Don't be surprised when they start offering other crypto services and derivatives like this. Especially, I mean, imagine them telling you, "Oh yeah, we can margin your account by 100." Not telling you what could happen in the other direction.
Degens.
Yeah, I was just about to say what's going on. Dynasty Visions, Harold George. Now they have access to those keys. What's the excuse for a bunch of their crappy derivatives? Of course, yep.
Exactly.
Dynasty said agree, but you have to admit it's great for PR. Oh, listen. That's what we said. Don't get it twisted. The banks are definitely about to have customers for this. It's about to be people handing over all their money for their crypto custody services.
Unfortunately.
Yep. What's going on? Dexter Hands Sr. His new home is Dominican Republic. Nice. Congratulations.
Nice.
Thanks for subscribing, Dimitri. Let's see what's going on. Timothy Grisby said Voorhees has been walking the talk for years. He has and been making his money. Let's see. Yep. Okay, there we go. Dexter Hand Sr. said he got your book out there. Has been teaching some people as well.
Appreciate you, my man. Oh, yeah.
Timothy Grigsby said, what happened to Jamie Dimon saying he would fire any of his employees dealing with Bitcoin, LOL. Exactly. Like,
did you really believe that?
Yeah, fire yourself.
Fire yourself. Yeah.
Dan the Man said, what does this mean for Cash App? No advantage? Hey, the well dried up quick, didn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of the well drying up quick, I swear, we don't even plan this, people. It just happens like this. Winklevoss Gemini to offer custody of crypto blockchain domains. Hey, listen.
Hey, who's the business development person at Gemini? Because they made some really big moves.
We just talked about this yesterday, how businesses where if they can't get their hands on Bitcoin, which that's not the case for Gemini. It's not that they can't get their hands on it. They just want to keep it all. But for businesses who can't get their hands on Bitcoin, they're trying to basically corner the market in other places. We talked about the UK basically doing that for advertising and commercials or whatever. And now we're looking at Gemini. They're going to do that for all the .crypto blockchain domains look like. What's going on here?
Oh, yeah. So it seems as though your .crypto addresses can be obtained through unstoppable domains with Gemini custody.
We'll take all of them.
We'll just take all of them, yeah. The tool is designed to store crypto assets in a regulated, secure, and compliant manner. So, registrars of traditional DNS domains are being targeted as top customers of the new service. You'll have providers like 101 Domain and Encirca. They'll be the first resellers of the new product. So, you can buy a .crypto domain, a registry that's based on the Ethereum blockchain, but it'll be stored on Gemini. So, what that means is if you buy your domains from them and you want to actually store it on Gemini, this is crazy. Gemini will have that for you. Some of the popular .crypto domains, Kyber.crypto, Switcheo.crypto, MyEtherWallet.crypto, Meltem, Demirs.crypto. A lot of people, popular people in the space, have their own .crypto domain. So this should be good business for Gemini. And honestly, a lot of people don't know about this yet. So they're sort of ahead of the game. You know, this is big with them doing this as well as partnering with Brave. So shout out to their business development team. They're moving forward. Shout out to them.
I've been doing it. That's why I say, honestly, I think Gemini's position. So, honestly, Gemini and Coinbase, whatever bank decides to go after one of these, and this would be a big buy and a tough buy, a bank might actually need to merge with another bank and buy both of them. Yeah. Or a bank would need to partner with all three and literally come to the table like we split everything 33%. The reason why I say it is because Coinbase has the scaling power and the mass, and the commercial mass appeal that a bank would need. But Gemini has, this is the stuff Gemini has that's important that banks also need on the back end, where they might not have the masses, but they definitely have that niche of, especially accredited investors, organizations, institutions. They have an entire blockchain of domains basically to offer. So these are some of the cool things Gemini have to offer. This is pretty interesting. I think that they're ahead of the game on this one. I don't think this will be a thing anytime soon. And the only reason I say is because it's already taking so long for Bitcoin, and this makes sense. Bitcoin makes sense. Cryptocurrency makes sense, and it takes a long time. I don't see people switching off the .com to .crypto like the brain. It's just not gonna work. I just don't see it working unless it's just really that one site where it's like, if you go on this one exchange .crypto, you are literally making money overnight. Like it would have to be something like that. I don't see it happening in the next 5 to 7 years, honestly. But but I think it's cool because, again, like you said, long term though, in 10 to 15 years, and if it is a .crypto type of world, then you definitely will be winning. And this would literally be no way to get a domain without going to Gemini. So pretty cool to see. Pretty cool. And here's another thing. I know Gemini only got .cryptos. If they're doing .cryptos, they definitely bought up some other ones.
I was gonna say,
give me the blockchain, give me everything. So we'll see what happens. Let's see what we got over here. Dynasty Vision said DeFi bringing that pressure. That's true. PFC Wells said FDIC can be wiped out by one bank failing. This new bank news could put an end to FDIC in banking, and this would be a new way to get rid of garbage pension funds using garbage smart contracts.
You know it. FDIC is only as insured as the money comes, and if it's not there,
it's literally the movie The Wolf of Wall Street, where at the very beginning, who was talking to Leonardo DiCaprio, the other actor, I can't think of his name.
Matthew McConaughey.
Boom, Matthew McConaughey. When Leo was talking about how he could make money and buy his wife, he's like, no. He's like, there's always a new trick. There's always a new stock. There's always a new pick. He's like, you never to give the client their money back. He's like, but I thought the point was to make money for your client. He's like, look, listen to me. So my point is, this is what they're doing. This is what the banks are doing. There's always a new thing. Oh shit, we don't have your money to pay out your pension funds anymore, which we don't.
Oh man.
Oh shit, FDIC can't cover all this money that we betted away and lost in different markets, and we're giving away the dollar and we're printing money in stimulus package. We don't have all this. Well, now we can roll it all into smart contracts, like PFC Will said. Like they are literally just rolling your money over. You don't want you to cash out. You want your kids to cash out your money. You don't want to do it. So yes, this seems to be the exact same thing we have saw throughout financial history in America. But hey man, there it goes.
There it goes.
that's the world we live in. All right, to end on a great news story, NBA star sells just 10% of tokenized contract. This is something Bitcoin has been talking about, and then once it actually became a reality, following for years. What's going on with this story?
So the Brooklyn Nets guard Spencer Dinwiddie, he aimed to sell 90 shares worth $13.5 million based on the Form D regulatory filings with the SEC. Unfortunately, only 9 shares were purchased, so 1.35 million of his target, which is only 10%. However, the fact that he actually had 1.3 million raised, you got to start somewhere. Of course, with COVID going on, with the NBA season being delayed, this was actually
that has
pretty
something to do
good.
with it.
Of course, yes. And on top of that, this is a brand new concept. This is something that, of course, more tech focused people understand, but just a regular NBA fan, they don't know what a tokenized contract is. They don't know anything about that. So I like the fact that he went ahead and did it, because the next time he does it, or the next time he tries to tokenize his contract, I'm sure he'll have more people. So you got to start somewhere. And shout out to him for facing the crowd and going for it. So
for the people who don't know, what is a tokenized contract? Like, what did he do here, and why is it? Why is this new? Why is this important? What's going on?
Oh yeah. So if you bought the SD26 professional athlete token, that represented a $150,000 stake in the contract. So if you gave that money, you would have a stake in that contract. If the value of that contract went up, that means your token would be worth more in the future, which is what people are betting on when they invest in these token contracts. So shout out to him for having that foresight and believing in himself. So if you have a part of this contract and his next contract is 100 million,
right? That's what I was going to ask.
Then that token that you own, which if he offers a token again, will be worth more, and you can cash it in. So
nice.
that's good for him, and it makes yourself a business. Like, forget owners. That's what people don't realize, how big this is. Imagine if every single player had their own token.
Wow.
And you can invest in who you want to invest in.
So about player cards.
That's
real player
That's
cards.
how you get paid. And then owners would be like, yeah, we don't need owners. We don't need your money. And then all of the people who come to watch us play, the ticket sales or whatever, you would have that.
Could you imagine? I can't even say the words. You're right. I'm thinking of it. Could you imagine how much a tokenized LeBron James is worth?
Exactly.
Wow.
And then I was talking about,
I'll buy a piece of that. You're going to championships at least, right?
Exactly. Because they get bonuses. So if they make more money and all of that could be sweeten the pot. I was talking about futures. I would buy Bronny James Jr. futures tokens. Gonna be like, I pretty much guarantee he's gonna be in the league, or some of these other high school players. So it's just the very beginning. But Spencer's a very technical person. He is a tech guy who happens to be in the NBA. So yes, he knows what he's doing, and I'm glad he went forward with it.
Now I don't see this happening with this, but only because you said the name and made me think of it. What if you could do that with musicians too? Because imagine seeing like a rapper years ago, like an early Future, and then you buy into someone his contracts, and then you get like a contract Universal. But to stick to basketball, this is crazy. This is pretty cool to see, because again, this is the first person doing it, like you said, in times of COVID, and he still was able to raise money. And I've seen a little bit of Spencer Dinwiddie. He looks like he's on the right track as far as improving. That upward. I can't think of the word, trajectory. This is a contract I would personally invest in. And then, as you said, to see that he's already blossoming and everything, he gets that second contract, it's a big one, or a third contract is a big one. You bought to the first one. Or if this thing does blow up and you're able to get into a Westbrook one, or Porzingis one, or who are some other players, right? Some of these popular players out there. You're able to get into those contracts when they're coming out of college or high school. What? Oh, that's a great idea.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They already do it. I mean, it's just it would be a tokenized way. Somebody said the August Alsina contract.
Oh wow!
Oh boy, your money.
Bang,
your money would definitely get entangled.
Oh man, here we go. I'm also wondering if when you do this, I'm sure eventually, what if you could also add in the shoe deal? I want a 360. Anything you make, I want a piece of it. Yeah,
so commercials,
shoe deals. How crazy would that be?
Exactly.
You're talking about you're still getting paid off Michael Jordans from how many years ago type of deal one day. That would be crazy. Let's see. Couple quick comments to end the day on. Harold George said Winklevoss twins trying to poke their chest out like Zuckerberg. I ain't mad at them though.
Oh man, they should have jumped him a long time ago.
Listen, we told them they need some services to holler.
Yeah,
it's a better way. PFC Wells said wait till someone figures out how to tokenize contracts for fantasy league like football and wow, you're right. Football and basketball fantasy league tokenized contracts.
Oh man,
that's gonna be huge. It says Steve Stout is doing something like that with smart contracts. He's making the new 360 deals, locking in artists forever.
I guarantee you that there's going to be some people, some
nefarious.
It's going to be some nefarious dealings that go on.
I own you for now on.
Exactly.
So this is cool. Shout out to the NBA, Spencer Dinwiddie. And hey, shout out to banks and regulators for being who we are, Americans, right? Taking what we want, not asking for it, because that is what's going on here. No, it's crazy. People remember crypto custody and banks when you start seeing the commercials, when they start trying to sit you down, when they start trying to actually get you to get your fiat currency or your whatever your account is right now, when they start trying to get you to put that into a Gemini dollar or a Coinbase dollar or whatever it is, just remember you heard it from first.
Oh, yeah.
Other than that, make sure you smash that like and share. And as Harold George said, make sure you get your entanglement clause. And we will see you all tomorrow.
Oh,
Cheers.
Yeah. Cheers.